I've never done like
right.
big session followed by big session.
Yeah. Yeah, I you know, we can only speculate. I don't know exactly what that would be like. I mean, I can imagine.
Couldn't imagine.
Dude, I had this crazy, like, idea. Crazy idea. Now, this is a lens. I don't know if it's true or not, but obviously it's probably not true. But I got this crazy idea that, like, and again, like, this is with you, I could just say this and I don't have to preface it, but since people listen to your podcast, I have to preface it by saying, I do not believe this, I'm not going insane, but this is a fun thing to think about, you know?
Right.
It's okay to imagine shit in your mind. It's okay, like you can imagine stuff, but, so I was thinking like, inspiration, right? Specifically I was thinking like J.R.R. Tolkien. When you read Lord of the Rings, it's like that guy went over there. That writing is so beautiful and so perfect and so like interdimensional, extra dimensional.
Old.
It's fucking
an old book.
And it's beautiful, his writing.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh, that guy, Tolkien, that inspiration is outflow from the DMT realm into this dimension through the processor of his meat computer. And this is like a kind of drip coming out of a dam, right? The dam is something that's been constructed by power structures who want to keep that realm out of here, right? And so over there you get usually a kind of message, right? And the message is usually something along the lines of, we need to love each other. We could love each other here. There's something more important than money. That's to really be very reductive about it, but some version of that story that usually involves some kind of desire to no longer harm people or to reduce suffering or to be a better person or however you want to put it, right?
Yeah.
So there's a dam that's been built, and the dam is built by the people who scan your piss for LSD. It's people who have created an intentional, legal obstruction between one realm and the other, which is the realm McKenna called hyperspace, and the realm that we're currently existing in, which is where there's a lot of scientific materialism, where people only believe that there's only matter here. There's only matter, that's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else, no spirit, no soul, right?
The gatekeepers.
The gatekeepers. I used to think of them as gatekeepers. Now I think of them as dam builders, right?
Dam builders.
And what happens is, from time to
do
time, a big crack in the dam.
Says I'm going live. Am I going live?
That's when someone like fucking Martin Luther
Am I live or not?
appears and is standing in front of so many people, telling them, I think that we're all the same, is what I think. I think we're all the same. And he's doing it in this very charismatic, beautiful way, right?
Yeah.
That's a big fucking crack in the dam, because over on this side of things, they don't want us to be all the same. They want us to be separated by a lot of different fucking things.
I'm live
they don't
now.
want us to be all the same over here. So the cracks in the dam open up, and the big cracks,
Second stream ever. Give me a break.
the little cracks, they're like the good art, the good poetry, the great movies, the inspiration. And now what's happening because of the fucking internet is all these fucking cracks in the dam are opening up. They can't seal them up anymore. It's like you can't seal the fucking dam anymore. And the singularity that McKenna was talking about, the apocalypse, which actually means lifting of the veil, what that is when the dam reaches dimension in the form of some kind of technology that either unifies all of us or like rips a hole literally into.
All right, let's try these new tilt brush
separates us from the
tools.
And that is what, for whatever reason, over in this dimension, people have been trying to stop. So
Because it impedes progress in terms of like making money.
Whoa.
Building businesses. You can't be building businesses if people are doing LSD on their breaks.
I don't think that's true. I think you could run a wonderful business.
No, they're going to come back and they're not going to be concerned with productivity.
Well, they're not going to be. No. If we get a group of people together and start building something amazing, not for money.
Oh no, I'm just being facetious.
Oh, I know.
Certainly can be done.
I'm arguing with the devil's advocate.
Okay, let me play the devil.
Okay, nice to meet you. Finally, can I have my soul back?
No.
Damn it.
This whole thing of you exploring hyper-dimensional space and all that
That
stuff, all
hole.
it does is make you stupider, and you show up at work and you're less
Right.
disciplined,
Oh.
you're not interested in getting the job done, okay?
Mhm.
This company is built on teamwork, okay?
Yeah.
And it's built on everyone pulling their weight. Now, if you're fucking off in hyperspace
Mhm.
from Friday night to Sunday morning, you barely get 6 hours sleep over the
Yeah.
weekend, and you show up Monday, I'm going to test your piss, okay?
Right.
Yeah, and if I find psilocybin
Whoa.
in there
Mm.
or anything else fucking squirrely,
Do you mind if I show you David Nutt's, Professor David Nutt's study on the Lancet about the dangers of the variety of drugs? I'm talking to the devil here.
Oh.
Do you mind if I show you this? Because
Please do.
if you notice, sir, on this chart, they, again, published in the Lancet, it's peer-reviewed. This is a very important study. Professor David Nutt, of course, has since, I think, been disbarred in some way or accrued some kind of horrible punishment for being an advocate for psychedelics. But anyway, sir, forgive me, but if you'll notice on this chart, psilocybin is considered the least harmful of mind-altering.
I'm not interested in harmful, sir. I'm interested in productivity. I want this
New
place
tools.
to run fast. We're in competition, and we're losing jobs overseas. Do you know they're going to start to make Harley motherfucking Davidson motorcycles in Thailand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what kind of shit is that? Huh?
I
It's a
don't-
goddamn American bike, and they're
I
making it
know.
over in fucking Asia. Why?
That hole.
Because the people in the factory over here didn't kick ass. Okay? They're over in the fucking park taking their magic mushrooms and tripping balls when they should be thinking about how to keep this company active. This company feeds and houses
Yes, sir.
150 families. You
Yes,
understand
sir.
that?
Yes, sir.
Now it's 100. Are you happy?
No.
You still want a fucking raise?
Sir, before I forget, I picked up your prescription for Oxycontin.
Speed!
Oxycontin.
I'm on speed, motherfucker. I don't take none of that oxy bullshit.
Yeah, you're
That's for pussies.
Yeah, you're on Adderall. You're on methamphetamine.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, so yeah, right. So
Devil and devil out.
So right, so the answer to it is that, I'm talking to you. Oh, well, here's the problem, sir. You don't realize this, but you're kind of a low-level priest in a religion that is spread far and wide. And in this religion, it's not really the money that you're interested in as much as it is the power, because you've become a servant of a being called the demiurge, which is essentially attempting to create a sort of authoritarian hierarchy in this particular dimension that's been separated from another place known as the galactic, you can call it whatever the fuck you want, but it's the aliens. It's a galactic civilization that is about to pour into this civilization, and so it really doesn't matter what you do, because within the next 20 or 30 years, through technology and through the unification of people because of that technology, you're gonna either come to our side or go completely insane.
Okay, the counter to that, of course, is the only way you're gonna get there, you fucking lazy hippies, is if we make you go to work. And we get shit done, and you buy things, and you keep this fucking country's economy healthy. That way the technology innovates. That way we make the hyperspace gateway. You lazy fucking hippies tripping balls on your lawn furniture. You're not creating shit, okay? You show up for work on time, you get the job done, eventually we'll get our portal.
Well,
That's
it
it. All right.
sounds, okay, can I just
Back to
address
work.
something you just said, Satan?
Yes.
On time. Now, this is a very funny term. Thank God I'm reading David Gray. Here's a great term, on time, right? So, like, boss, the problem is that, like, the thing you're doing with time or being on time, that's a relatively new imposition into society. And it started with clock towers. During the Industrial Revolution, they put clock towers up so that people always knew what time it was, so they wouldn't be late for going to work. In a factory, you see, there was a time when people weren't like obsessed with their fucking watch, because the idea that you could sell time, here's what it is, sir. You think, you and I have entered into a contract where for some ridiculous reason I've agreed to sell you 8 hours of time, my time per day. It's essentially a form of slavery. It's a kind of like slavery, except I get to go free for a certain amount of hours per week.
Indentured servitude.
Yeah, we can call it that, with like like less of the power. I can leave anytime I want. Indentured servants, I don't think they could, because they were kind of trapped until
Yeah,
they
you are
pay
kind
up.
of, certain jobs you're kind of trapped.
Well, you could quit most jobs. I mean, that's kind of the rationalization that people use. Is they're like, you can leave anytime you want, bud. You can leave anytime you want.
The hard jobs are those jobs where people work for salary, and their time is just whatever the project takes.
Cool.
Like, you ever talk to
That's
someone who
cool.
works on
That's
video
hilarious.
games?
Right. No. I've met very few people. I mean, I've met a few, but it's like they don't work in the big companies.
Dude, the hours that they put in before a video game is released is insane.
Right.
A lot of them just sleep in the offices.
Right.
They're working 16 hours a day just coding.
Ugh.
They're all living on top of each other.
Yeah.
Dude.
Brutal.
Dude.
Brutal. Brutal. Yeah. Brutal. And this
That's
is.
not a job. You're asking for someone's whole life.
That's right.
You're asking for the whole life.
Yeah.
Advanced
Occasionally
beach
get away
jobs.
from me and go camping.
Whoa, what's
You
this
occasionally
advanced
get away
features?
from me. Have a picnic with your family. You
Sure.
occasionally can get away. But for many, many
Yeah.
months, I want you all the time. I just want you there all the time. And in exchange, I'll give you some money.
So like,
Twitch chat.
conceptually, I don't think that this is like a terrible situation as long as the person is really into what they're doing, right? And then what we have is just like a kind of like a, I guess you could say a capitalist commune, or I don't know what you'd call it. It's like a group of people communing together, seeking to like extract money from the universe, but also, like, you know what comes to mind? Sorry, anyone from Blizzard who's listening, who like doesn't like your job there, but I went on this tour of Blizzard, and they fucking
It's a company that makes video games.
they make the best video games outside of like the only game I'm not chopped with it right now is the God of War. It's so fucking good, but
It looks pretty badass.
it is amazing. It is amazing. Dude, it's the first AAA game I've liked in so long.
What's a AAA game?
It's called AAA, right? AAA. It's a really expensive game to make. It's like a hardcore, big time.
Pull up a video. You see God of War.
God, it's
Their
so
graphics are pretty fucking incredible.
Dude, it's
Dude.
beautiful.
Dude.
Don't get me. Fuck the alien damn bullshit. God of War is like, it's so good, man. And like, I'm stuck in it right
So
now.
you put on the HTC Vive today, the new one that we have. But
Yeah.
you didn't get into a game yet. There's some games in it where you're just like, whoa, I see where this is going. And I saw that from yours. But yours was when I was over to your place. What was
Yeah.
that? 2 or 3 years ago.
Probably 2 years ago.
Look how good that is.
Kratos.
Look how good that is. You see like the dirt on his hands. It's like you're watching an episode of Vikings.
Dude, it's really good. And it's like,
Bitch ass fucking thing freezing up again. Here it goes. So this is actual gameplay.
yeah.
See, why is this? Doing
That's
this?
fucking gameplay, dude. That's gameplay.
That's gameplay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's amazing.
She's so hot.
She's very hot.
I know.
Do you think you can hang out with a chick who's like cut people's heads off with swords?
Yes. Absolutely.
Look at her. Look at him, rather. Her. Look
Yeah,
at this. This
yeah.
is fucking bad.
But it's not just, dude, what's great about this game is not just like the graphics, which are incredible, or the fight mechanics, which are also incredible, but the fucking story is really good, and the acting is really good, and like the relationships between characters are really intense. This game will make you like tear up, man. Like, it's like,
Damn.
fucking
Holy shit.
great.
You see what he just did? Chop that dude in half with an axe? Holy fuck.
whoops.
He just got smashed by a
He got
giant.
smashed. He gets smashed a lot, but he's Kratos, the God of War. He doesn't give a fuck.
Does not give a fuck.
Man,
This is incredible.
I wouldn't even show much more of this. It's spoilers. I don't want anybody to see any of the characters or know what's happening because it's that good. Like, it's such a good game. Most games, the way I've played video games, is I try to rush through it for some reason, which is really dumb. To be like, oh, I gotta win this thing. This one, you want to hang out, look around, like see the landscape, and like you get really into it. It's a glorious game, but you know that. To get back to what we were talking about, at Blizzard, one of the people working there told me, we like building World of Warcraft because we like playing World of Warcraft. We've created a dimension we want to be inside of. Like, we enjoy it. They love it. Like, and that's why the game is so good, because it's being made by people who enjoy playing the game. So I don't know how many hours they work at Blizzard. I imagine it can be a pretty brutal schedule, but and anything you do, even things you love, I know become grueling, but I think that example of a company versus a company where you're like either doing something that you don't even need to be there to do, or
right. No comparison.
No comparison.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be massive hours a day, but I bet you're having a great time a lot of the time, and the actual results insane. You know, I was friends with a lot of those guys from id Software back in the Quake 2 days.
Yeah.
And played Quake 3. I got to play Quake 3 before it ever came out.
I was with you. We
That's
were.
Right.
That's
right.
what's his
Dallas.
name? Cliff.
No, that's
Cliffy?
Cliffy B. He's id Software is Doom and Quake. Cliffy B is Unreal and.
Oh, now I was with you when Cliffy B gave us
Yeah.
a tour. I didn't see the Quake tour. Sorry,
Okay.
dude.
Well, they're both amazing, but we got to see Unreal Tournament when they were putting that together, and they were putting together this new engine that wound up being used in a bunch of different games afterward. But it was fucking crazy. We get to see the graphics, like as they're designing things, and same thing with the Quake Studios. But those guys all were crazy gamers. Like
Right.
they would get LAN parties and sync all the. When we played at the id Software, we got to play death matches between everybody in the
Wow.
studio. It was awesome to play Quake with the guys who made Quake.
Fucking cool.
The funnest shit ever.
Fucking cool, man.
And, you know, I mean, what they did was, if you've never played one of those games before, the three-dimensional games when you're running down, you hear things over here behind you.
Yeah.
And you like, you know, you could turn around and sneak around corners, and people are chasing you around the map, and sometimes you could walk and it doesn't make any noise. Or you can run and you can hear the footsteps.
Fucking cool.
Fuck, it's the crazy, they're so adrenaline packed when you're playing
Yeah.
those games. Like, these guys, I'm so terrified we're putting a LAN in here in the next couple
I
weeks.
know you are.
Oh, you and I, we're gonna have some fun.
Well, no, we're not, because you're going to beat me at fucking Quake. I suck at shooters,
I haven't
dude.
played forever.
Please.
I haven't played forever. I'll probably be terrible. For at
Dude.
least the first 16 hours.
If I, like, had a shrink ray and shrunk you, like, into, like, a 8-year-old, you would still beat me at shooters. I suck at fucking shooters, man. I'm
What
like,
is your thing? What do you like? You like those role-playing games?
I don't want to say it, dude, because you're going to make fun of me.
I won't do it. Come on, fella.
I like Hearthstone, man.
What is that? I don't even know what it is.
Fucking fell for it, man.
You didn't fall for it. I'm being sincere. I don't know what it
It's
is.
an online fantasy card game.
Oh, it's like a furry thing. Like furries?
I love comedians so much. Because it's like I knew you were going to insult me. I just didn't know how. And like the way you did it was way worse than I expected.
Like you pretend to be a fox, right? You're like Foxkin? Are you otherkin?
Oh, it's not like
Is that what it is? You just get a kick out of it? Do you ever do it in your footy pajamas? You got a little bunny rabbit tail on. Hide in the woods, and I'm a rabbit.
Oh, fuck, man.
I've got to be clever to get away from the fox.
Alright, well, hey, let me tell you something. It's a wonderful fucking game, and it's deep, and it's got a lot of strategy, and I love playing it, man. I really do. I'm not good at it anymore. I went through a period of being good. I haven't played it in a while because I've been playing God of War. But
Oh, look at this. Is this it?
yeah.
This looks like death. What is happening? What is happening here?
Let's see.
They're cards?
Yeah, they're cards. You basically like I'm not going to explain the rules of Hearthstone on your show, dude. But
Please don't.
It's a great game.
This is killing me.
It's a great, very fun, very enjoyable
It's like a
game.
good game for 9-year-old girls. That's what it looks like. Get it for my kids.
I'm just thinking, like, all I had to do is say StarCraft, or I could have lied,
No.
but I knew I had to tell you the truth.
But I knew you were addicted to that. You had a real problem with that for a while. You and I mirror each other in our video game addictive tendencies.
Right.
We're both like, ugh,
Yeah.
gotta be careful.
But, dude, you know, this is something I was thinking I wanted to bring up during the podcast, man. It's like when we first started hanging out. And you told me something I've never forgotten, and it's from the Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi. And you mentioned something from that book, which is that learn one thing, and you'll know how to do a lot of other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So he would apparently he was a samurai, and so
Yeah.
he recommended for samurai not just to learn the sword, but to learn poetry, learn how to paint, learn how to do this stuff. Because in the meta process of learning, you learn, there's something in there that like fits onto all forms of learning, right?
Well, you don't want to be too hard, but you don't want to be too soft. You want to be a balance.
Right.
And in a balance, you have to be artistic and destructive. You have to be loving and hating.
Right.
You know, he played games with his opponents. Like, he didn't just fight nobly. He was an asshole. He would like show up hours late for duels and make the guy wait. So he knew the guy would be freaking out. He would show up sometimes with wooden swords instead of metal swords to fuck with their heads. One time he whittled a sword out of an oar of the boat that he rowed over to the beach where he's supposed to have the sword fight, showed up hours late, fucked the dude up with an oar. Yeah, he would play games with people.
Right.
He knew that there was psychological warfare in him showing up late.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah, and do you remember the first sentence of the book?
I do not. I remember the quote that you just were talking about because I say it all the time. It's like the reason why I have this tattoo on my arm. This is Musashi, you know?
Yeah.
It's once you understand the way broadly, or once you know the way broadly, you see it in all things.
That.
Yeah.
So which is also as above, so below.
Hello?
That's another way of saying that. It's like, so it's the concept that if I practice something, for example, like right now, like I'm learning how to do modular synthesis. Like I have modular synths. They're badass. It's like for making music, right? I'm 44. I'm not like thinking to myself like, man, one day I'm gonna be fucking bass nectar. I'm not thinking that. You know what I mean? I don't even think I'll perform live with them ever. But I got sucked into it, and now I'm taking it seriously. So I'm learning how to do it for real. Like, and then that pulls you into like music theory, right? So now you start looking at, well, what is a song, and why is a song set up like it is, and what are notes, and what's a tone, right? What's an oscillator? What are these things? And then like from that you get pulled into like Pythagoras, you know, like, and then suddenly you're like reading like shit by Pythagoras, who like had another great quote, which is, "Do not take the roads traveled by the public." It's pretty awesome, which means, isn't that badass? But anyway, the point is like, because I've been studying like the modular synthesizer, now when I sit down and play guitar, like I'm a little better at it. But then where it gets fucking weird is when I sit down and play like God of War, I'm a little better at that too. And then like when I'm thinking about cutting tomatoes, for example, something really basic, and the pressure I'm exerting to cut the tomato versus the sharpness of the knife, I think about music, and I think about, whoa, in a weird way, my knife is like you won't know what this is maybe, like my knife is like a CV gate, which is like, if you have a tone, like, gate might be an on and off, like, switch that makes the tone go, right? So suddenly the shit you're learning from, like, and by the way, synth nerds out there, I don't know what I just fucking said. I've already fucked it up. I'm sorry. I'm learning.
Such nerds.
But the point, what I'm saying is, it's like what he was teaching is so powerful, which is like, when you don't just get good at one thing.
Yeah.
It bleeds into other shit in your life too.
Sure.
That is an incredible thing for me to realize, man. It's been pretty intense because, like, you know, when you, like what you were saying, you know, if you're a 20-year-old, you know, people expect you to be learning something, this or that. But when you're in your 40s, you know, you could trick yourself into thinking, like, I don't need to learn how to do anything anymore. And then you're basically, like, turning down all the lights in your life. Because when you start working on something, even, this is what I was going to ask you, man, maybe even video games.
Oh, for sure video games do. We dismiss them because they were thought of as frivolous exercises, and we embrace chess and Go and all that, and even poker, because we know that it's an intellectual pursuit. Right? Real poker players are all super fucking smart guys, the guys that are really good at it.
Yeah.
I think that we do that with video games because at one point in time they were just Pong, and then they were Mario Brothers, and they were silliness and fun. You get the mushroom and have a good time.
Yeah.
And Pac-Man and all that shit. But now, when you see God of War, you're like, okay, Well, clearly your brain is firing on all cylinders when you're doing that.
That's right.
You're swinging that axe and switching to
Yeah.
the spear and doing this and jumping there and chopping this dude in half and getting away from the guy with the fucking flying log he's throwing at you.
Yeah.
That's your brain. Your brain's firing left and right. The
Right.
idea that this is totally useless seems stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that potentially through anything, the problem with video games is you can play them and actually not get better at them because you just like are slashing and pressing buttons and shit.
Yeah.
Like you have to you can focus. But I think when your attention and focus gets put on improving anything, like theoretically I imagine if you just started working on drawing a circle or drawing like a perfect circle and just spent day after day working on that pursuit. It sounds insane. If you look crazy to your friends. But potentially other shit in your life you'd start improving at too.
Mm-hmm.
Your mind gets a little sharper maybe. Maybe it's just some kind of neurogenesis or something. I don't know.
It's exercise. It's exercise for your mind.
Right.
For sure, your brain is very, very active when you're playing a video game. You know, I know when I would play Quake, my hands would get so sweaty that I would put antiperspirant on my hands. I would spray antiperspirant all over my hands, and then I would blow on them to keep them from getting so sweaty. Because my fingers would they would slip around over the keyboard. I would leave puddles in the keys. My mouse would get soaking wet. It would be dripping all over the mouse pad, and the ball would get stuck.
Yeah.
Then eventually became laser tracking. First it sucked, then it got way better. First it was like you wanted that ball. You wanted to feel the ball underneath the mouse. Because you got that tactile sensation.
Right.
But then it got to a point where these laser ones were so much more accurate, and they never fuck up. They just became better.
That shit has always been like really odd to me when you look at a gaming mouse and it says how precise it is down to the
DPIs.
Yeah, the DPIs.
Yeah,
yeah.
DPIs. I remember Razer Mouse had one that was 2,000 DPI, the Mamba. It was crazy. You play with the thing, you're like, Jesus Christ! It was so fast. It was an odd shape, like it was a duck foot. Do you remember that?
Yeah, so wait till the ones now there's a button on it. You can switch mid-game depending on what you're doing or what you need. You can set up your DPI from up to like 8,000, 10,000, 15,000, down to 200, 100.
I wonder why we need it slower. I always want it slower.
There's some games like you don't need to be moving that much. It might be a sniper, so you need very small adjustments, and you can make big moves with your hands and have still a small adjustment.
Yeah, some guys, when the adrenaline would kick in, they would like a slow mouse speed and a big mouse pad, and they would move the pad around like that, and they felt more precise that way than they were with a small pad and a high speed. Because some guys used to like do little wrist flicks with like super high speed, and you would try their mouse. You'd be like, hey man, can I try your setup? Because everybody's setup was different. And I would try their setup and be like, Jesus, how do you even concentrate? This is crazy. You're moving so fast. They would have their speed just and they would have mouse acceleration. Mouse acceleration.
Sure.
Yeah. So if you move faster, it actually goes faster.
Yeah.
Almost like you're throwing a whip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, dude. You need that in StarCraft. Like.
You need that too?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's very important getting your mouse set at the right speed, and you get used to that speed. So if your mouse is fucked up, you're definitely gonna make like bad decisions. But I never got I got okay at StarCraft. I think I got up to I don't know, maybe Silver League or something like that.
What does that mean? So if you were in